On the last night he would ever be himself, Samuel slept the dense, oblivious sleep of people who assume tomorrow will be ordinary. Nothing in his quiet little room suggested otherwise. The wallpaper was the same, the bed was the same, and Samuel, who would have sworn he was still Samuel, turned over once or twice and drifted deeper into someone else. By morning, the bed was occupied by a young woman who had not, strictly speaking, gone to sleep there. She opened her eyes with the vague, muzzy feeling that something had shifted while no one was looking. The walk to the bathroom felt wrong in small, alarming ways. The way her nightgown brushed her legs, the unfamiliar swing of hair on her shoulders, the odd lightness and imbalance of a body she did not recall ordering. The mirror, which had faithfully reflected him for years, now displayed a stranger. Wide-eyed, dark-haired, undeniably female, and wearing his expression of dawning horror. She stared, trying to wake up out of waking. This has to be a dream, she thought, but everything feels so dreadfully real. My voice, my body, how is this even possible? Did I fall, hit my head, contract some obscure condition, or did something happen last night that has already slipped away? The mirror, being unhelpful, declined to answer. Her wardrobe, however, had a great deal to say. It contained not a single familiar shirt or pair of trousers, only dresses and blouses and shoes with opinions. Each article whispered, in its own rustling way, that whoever she was now, she was expected to be ladylike about it. After a long, resentful pause, she chose the least frilly of the available indignities, a fitted dress that seemed designed by someone who believed knees should suffer for beauty. Thus equipped, and clutching a handbag that had never previously darkened her life, she stepped out into the world. The street, which had once treated Samuel as part of the harmless scenery, turned its head for Samantha. Men glanced over with lazy, appraising interest, as if the universe had quietly reissued her under a more collectible edition. "This sucks," she muttered, discovering that being noticed was far less pleasant when one was not being consulted. She quickened her pace, cheeks hot, the back of her neck prickling with that newly familiar sensation of being looked at without being spoken to. "Ugh," she breathed, and the word hung around her like a small protective cloud of disgust. In time, she came to a bus stop at the edge of town. A modest bench beneath a sign that promised, with very little conviction, that a bus would someday arrive. A boy was already sitting there, narrow-shouldered, anxious, wearing spectacles and a shirt that looked as though it had been ironed by a worried parent. There was something profoundly off about him, the way there was something profoundly off about her. They sat in mutual silence, each pretending to study the pavement, both feeling the vast, awkward weight of what they weren't saying. At last she turned, examining his face with a new, uncanny familiarity.
It
"It happened to you too, didn't it?" she asked quietly, as though they were discussing the weather and not the complete rearrangement of their lives. He swallowed, nodded, and the bench seemed to tilt under the combined gravity of their shared misfortune.
I'm Sam,
she said after a moment, then correcting herself with the weary politeness of someone filling out a form in triplicate. "Or I guess Samantha." "And I'm Maxine," he replied, tripping over the syllables like a man in shoes not his own. "Well, Max." They sat there in the thin afternoon light, two strangers who used to be themselves, waiting for a bus that might or might not come, and wondering, each in their newly altered skin, whether whatever had done this was finished with them yet.